Hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. Yeah. Spam that push button. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for what the third button might be next week.
I have a good idea. Oh, see what this is. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm excited for that.
I've returned.
Oh, my God. She's back?
Back again.
Alrighty. So I'll just get the ball rolling here. Hi, everybody. It's good to see all the regulars here. We got, let's see, we got Real Smart. We got I Troll For You, second serving of noodles. What is it? We got Fungi Mancer, Hill Garden, Lolo Soon, Golden Pasta, Snoopy, let's see, Curtin, and Nixie. And oh man, there's just so many regulars here. Really Smart. Good to see you. Awesome. And JDRS, of course. Hi Norvik, how you doing? Thanks for coming on in.
If you want to know a trick, he calls himself Jetters.
Jetters, okay. Good to see you, Jetters, and of course Bert Co as well. It's good to see all y'all. What is it? We're gonna take it a bit easy today, but it is gonna be something where I'm gonna get back to basics a bit because I recognize that. I got 3 different requests from people last week asking for. All right. No, can you just do like a 101, like a base tutorial kind of thing? So I think we're gonna try to just develop a full character sheet here today and see what you guys want to make otherwise. I do have a couple of Sage comics in production. I said I was going to have one out this week, and I didn't get it done in time. But we should have plenty of content coming next week because I have like 3 comics finishing up around the same time. So it'll be fun, and it features one of you guys. One of you guys are in the comics, so that'll be fun to show off. Whenever I can throw you guys into my comics, it's always super fun because I just know I made someone's day. You know, like even no matter the reception of the comic or whatever, as long as I don't want it to be upsetting or anything like that, but it almost always is just a super satisfying thing to be like, oh, this is so fun or whatever. So good to see you, Felix. Thanks for coming in. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So if you can see that in terms of the way things work here, I'm just going to run through things for anyone who's new. So what we have here is a stream where we just collaborate on Midjourney's server, and we are doing that here on the stage. But just above the stage, you'll see VC Create, which is where we're going to be prompting all together. And you see that AC has a couple with his OC, his original character. Just pushing buttons and stuff. So it's really easy for us to adapt even what he's doing and make it something completely different if we wanted it to, or if we wanted to. So like, you're welcome to press any buttons or do anything yourself too. He's not the only one in control of buttons. You guys have all the buttons too. Not every button, but all the fun ones you guys have access to. And then inside of VC Text, just above that, is where you can chat with me today. Anything that you guys talk about and stuff, we'll get it up on YouTube eventually. I'm a little behind schedule with uploading those, but the idea here is that we get a bunch of stuff done, and we make things together, and we try to do something new every time, and make cool things together. So. I focus a lot on characters, mostly because I have a background in entertainment. I'm a former visual effects artist with Adult Swim, 2 different Adult Swim studios. I worked on like Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, and a handful of the stop motion shows. So, when it comes to like basically creating like generic puppets that we then, finesse into the finished, sort of story that we're putting together, that's where Midjourney gets super exciting for me, because we can essentially not only rapidly produce comics and video content or anything like that. We're able to do so in a whole new collaborative way, to where it blurs the line between fans and creators, right? Because all of our stuff gets kind of blended together, and who knows how many people are involved with a project by the end of this stuff. It's crazy. So you can see inside of VC Create, Lolo Soon is actually already going ham with their chibi character as well. So let's go ahead and get some get some original characters going in here, because like we have second serving of turkey noodles. Ooh, you changed your name a little bit for Thanksgiving coming up. It's already Thanksgiving themed stuff. Okay. But we got Momo here, and I love Momo. I don't want to spoil anything, but I definitely have been using Momo quite a lot for one of the comics that are coming up. So be excited about that second serving of noodles. I have a whole little thing for you coming soon. And chat with me, please. Desperate. I'm a desperate streamer here. I want you to please chat with me. I really need your attention. That's what I'm getting at, especially this last one here. That's funny. So you can see people are using the low character weights to really drive a lot of like originality out of each image, because if you leave your character weights at default, which is 100, you tend to really get whatever is the result of the character reference. There's not a lot of flexibility with it at 100%. So dropping it all the way down to 0 is a really fun way to get all sorts of unique sort of interactions and shot angles and all sorts of stuff that we can then finesse and hone into what we want to do. But what I'm going to recommend that we start with here is just a blank slate, because I recognize that there's going to be a lot of people that might come into here that go like, okay, but I don't even have a character yet, right? So why don't we just pull a character out of this the weird ether that is the AI image space here, latent space or whatever, and we're just gonna find some original person to develop into a full turnaround, because essentially what we want to do is we can use even just a single image as a character reference now and get a lot of mileage out of that one image. But the reality is, at least for me, is that there's a certain sterility that you're going to notice. Like everything becomes basically the same if you keep using the same image again and again and again and again. So we there's a couple different methods on how we can, maintain consistency rather than always getting the same image, dozens of times over. The balance really comes into making sure that you have enough references of your character. So we can see here that second serving of noodles is a latent space new character. Ooh, already exploring just kind of the stuff I'm saying here. But what I'm going to do here is, and if you're not familiar with Niji, where we are running in anime mode here, we don't have to. So what I'm going to do here is let's spin off of this one a little bit, but we're going to make it a little more useful to us, so I don't have to go into Photoshop and clean up any of this stuff before we submit it again to Midjourney. So I'm going to say latent space character, just because why not? Let's just go with that theme. That sounds fun. So latent space character, but this time I'm going to do it version 6.1, and I want to make sure that inside the prompt I put like white background, and let's do a full body turnaround of a latent space character. And let's just go with this for now and see what we get. Actually, let's go for a wider aspect ratio too. So AR32. There's a lot of new stuff that you can do on the website that makes this way more intuitive as well. So if you are a little frustrated with the amount of typing and basically like text back and forth when it comes to working with Midjourney, the website is actually really, really handy to just kind of get into it, But
Wait, just ask what exactly is a latent space character? I've never really heard the definition of that word.
well, latent space is something that is kind of it's known within like AI circles and all that stuff as just basically being like the general, because you can't really think of AI imagery as like a map. Like it overly simplifies it if you think it is like a 2D sort of navigatable map, but instead it's a bunch of noise, right? That effectively makes a 3-dimensional space for us to explore. But it's all about the relevance of things, or like the commonality of things that makes it so that we can jump to different concepts. So whenever we're exploring latent space, it's always kind of a interesting combination of the keywords that we use inside of our prompts, but as well as all of the kind of parameters and other things that we use to kind of lean our results in a certain direction. Like if we use chaos or weird or any of the other parameters, they're going to just help us go into a different part of latent space. Otherwise, yeah, we're just having.
I think I might have misunderstood. I thought you were prompting the words of a latent space character, and I was like, "Does that do something cool?"
I was just messing around with something
I thought you were just being meta.
No, yeah, right. No, I was just messing around with something that someone else had prompted here, because
Gotcha.
yeah, I was just kind of goofing around because when it comes to a lot of the words that you use inside of your prompts, it depending on what you're aiming for, sometimes it doesn't really, like, you don't need to even be like that accurate with your spelling or anything like that. You can still get to what you're aiming for. But sometimes I do just like to kind of throw things at the wall and see if anything sticks. Like words like latent
sometimes
space.
you find things that work really cool as like and as like a thing that becomes a thing, like when people found the quotation marks and made it the void prompt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I wasn't sure if like you just use latent space in a prompt and then it's
And then get something.
things that
Right. No,
Yeah.
no, we're definitely just doing randomness at this time. But it is certainly true that when it comes to like, I do think people don't visualize latent space correctly either, right? So it's like they think that it's something that we can just plot out and navigate, when really it's a lot more than that. It's more of a categorization of noise. So let's see some of the characters that you guys are messing with here. I see that there's a couple of character references of characters that you guys have been developing, like Snoopy here. This is like the male love interest, I believe, that you had for Miss Nameless. Like at least inspired by that. That looks a lot like it. Stop blowing things up. That's a good tip. Okay, so like when it came to us looking for an original character here, you can see that we're already getting a bunch of turnarounds that might make sense for what we're doing here. There's a certain level of complexity that comes off of just asking for character turnarounds that can more or less make your life harder than it needs to be. There's a couple of things, like if I'm looking at this one here, I'm just going to kind of blow this up so you guys can see it a little bigger. So you can see that there is a lot of patterns and sort of like texturing that happens, especially like in this girl's sleeves and stuff, that it's hard for me to even tell where the silhouette is in this, like what the shape of this character really is. So Midjourney is going to have just as much trouble to tell those details too. So you want to find a character that at least gives you a base that you can go, okay, let's simplify this. Let's make this a little bit easier to make it a repeat here. Similar to Gompasta's character here, Flora. Flora is she's got a hoodie, she's got brown hair that what they called round mounds in anime, round mounded hair, and generally just a sling bag over her shoulder and gloves. Super simple, and this actually makes it so much more interactive and easier to work with this character, as opposed to, say, picking any one of the four that are here. This is a cyberpunk hyper tech stylized attire. So We can try to work off of one of these and see at like where our limits are when it comes to making a character turnaround with this. But I'm just going to show you guys what this looks like right off the bat, so we can get an idea of where, you know, what works and what doesn't. Let's kind of go through. I like this. That's pretty awesome. Nice style reference. Okay, so I'll take this and we'll just run it as a character reference first, just to see what works about this with the current workflow that we have here. So I'm just going to write /imagine. And then with this linked, I just copy the link for it. I'm going to write --cref, which stands for character reference, and then paste the link. Since it was made, I believe, in Niji, or maybe not. Let's take a look. It was made in Niji with someone's personalization code. So that just means that I also want to run this in Niji, just to kind of keep things uniform here. And let's just have her doing something that's appropriate for a cyberpunk hypertech stylized character here. Let's just ordering sci-fi drinks at the sci-fi bars. Just to really double down that we're going for more of a cyberpunk look. We could just write cyberpunk, but I also don't want to like influence a bunch of punks. Let's see here. Gompasta said that my personalization code likes to simplify designs too, which is great for character generation sheets. Yeah. As soon as you find one of those like really handy codes, like especially if it's your own code, you can really go nuts when it comes to making it productive for you, especially if you kind of hone in Midjourney's like intent with your ratings to only be the images you actually want Midjourney to make. Just use the skip button like a ton, and you'll be way happier with the ratings. So we could see here that out of the first result that we have, when it came to this sort of complex character, and what I'm really trying to illustrate here is that you're going to have to work a little bit by memory here, but we can even see it between these two characters here. It'll always, with character reference, it'll always try to repeat the same character multiple times in the scene. And this is good because you can always in-paint a different character to be next to your character. But you can see just in the variety of their outfits here, there's a lot of misunderstanding about where there's tears in the attire and where the circles should go. There's just a lot of muddliness that happens. And look, there's not even patterns on her sleeves on this one here. It just kind of looks like she's like a painter who's, got a messy smock sort of on. It just, to me, this is not very usable. It's very fun in its own way, but it's going to be hard to get this to be repeating enough to where people are not going to instantly call you out as being it's just all generated or whatever. I would have trouble with this character. But then let's compare this to Snoopy's got some fun ones going. We can make some turnarounds of this. So I like this character a lot, actually. I'm curious how well she turns around here real quick. So let's go ahead and I'll do I'm going to expand on this result, and then we'll make a turnaround off of this existing image. So essentially what we're going to be doing now is once we find a character that we like, we are going to create a bunch of negative space around the character so that we can then in-paint new instructions for what should be around this image. Ideally, we're trying to get Midjourney to essentially fill the gaps in a way, in a controlled way. So I do like your Victor, banging on the door. Kind of that's what it looks like to me, smashing that red button. But let's see here. Let's see. Yep. Here's our zoom out here. And the hearts and stuff don't matter because we are going to in-paint that stuff anyway. So let's go for the second one here. And I'm looking in the chats here. I never use skip, actually, aside from not safe for work. Use the skip button like crazy when you want to really hone in what you want Midjourney to do. Like, for example, I never want 3D rendering. I never want 3D rendering in my art. I want it to always be, anime illustrations or otherwise character art that isn't looking like it's made in Unity or whatever, or just designed in Blender. So I just hit the skip button, everything that does 3D, right? And it's so much better for me. Let's see here. I don't like to see her walk away, but I love to see her turn around sheet. Okay. Yep. There you go. But let's go ahead and continue. What we're gonna have here now is a pretty nice blank of this character with enough negative space around it for us to inpaint new poses or expressions for this character. That's what we want out of this. Is we want a character sheet that not just for Midjourney, but more so for us to be able to reference the range of performance for our character. So that range may not be very big. You if you're just doing a generic villain character, like a 2-dimensional villain, you just need to go ha ha and then whatever. You could just get like angry and distraught and overjoyed, and that's probably enough to be able to cover the bases for a generic villain. But when you talk about like trying to do like a full anime series or anything like that, or just a full series, you're going to need a wide range of expressions for your character. So that's what we're going to try to accomplish today, is to create a sheet that lets us refer to all the different, potential expressions that our character might need to make when telling a story. So let's first go to Vary Region. And inside of Vary Region, we basically just select all the negative space. You want to be pretty close to the character, because this is going to allow you to, how can I say? It's basically going to allow you to make the most of your time when generating with stuff like this, because we want to, there might be like a unique pose that can be accomplished just because you gave a little more negative space for Midjourney to play around with. But we want to make sure that we leave everything that we want Midjourney to refer to for these other poses not highlighted at all, because anything you cover up with the Vary Region tool is no longer going to be referenced for your image here. And since this is using a personalization code, and we it may or may not give us the exact results we want. So I mostly want to make sure that everything that's inside of this image that I've left behind is stuff I actually want it to refer to, because whatever you leave inside the canvas is going to be massively influential to everything else that you're doing from here on, from here onward. So at this point, what I'm going to say is I just delete all the prompt, and I'm going to write something like multiple poses, multiple expressions. And we're just gonna leave the personalization code that from Snoopy for now. I'll just confirm that it's Snoopy. Yes, it's Snoopy. And just run it with Niji6. So we'll see what this gives us. If not, we can do version 6.1 and get a whole bunch of different, a totally different range of potential here. So this is awesome already. What I'm seeing here is we already have a pretty good range on the fourth result here. So that's pretty cool. But you notice that we already have inconsistencies of the outfit. Like her long sleeves, that she's no longer wearing a striped outfit here, that kind of thing. This is where it's pretty damn important to go in and just get rid of anything that's inconsistent, and be pretty generous with your selections. Like, you want to make sure that you get this stuff right. So we're going to go ahead and just select her entire lower half, or her entire upper half here. And since this is pretty good, I'm going to actually try to get this to extend by selecting this negative space here. And I'm going to allow for the top left to stay as is, but I am going to select the negative space that's around her down here. Okay. And then we can go in a different direction with this too. If we start using the website, we can customize to the exact cropping that we want to use. Is that Earth Day? Planet Earth? There's a whole webcomic series where there's essentially all the planets are different, fun little anime girls, and they're going through like problems with humans being on them and all this stuff. It's funny. I forgot where I read it though. Let's see. Ooh, I like this little character, Hillgarden. That's such a fun. Ooh, I like this. It's like a It's kind of like a spirit swords, but like almost like a nether. I don't know. Like it has some fun potential there, I think. Okay, cool. All right, so you can see here that any of the negative space that I fill in, it tries its best to put something there that matches the prompt. Oftentimes it'll repeat things. So we really don't need 4 versions of her overjoyed and happy. We really just need to get as much range as we can. So let's go ahead and select the 4th one here, because I'm noticing that there's a little bit of like a kind of like, a little bit of a sad face in terms of the eyes, which is quite useful. We can work with that. So let's go ahead, and we could just start inpinning a new mouth for her down here. But what I'm going to do instead is we're going to pop open the website so that you guys can check this out, how we can expand this even more. So let's grab this image. We're going to hit editor here on the bottom right corner. And because we have access to the new editor, I'm going to hit open in full editor here. Not all of you guys may have access to this yet, but it is awesome to be able to quickly make changes like this, as well as retexture things. So let's just go ahead and select all of this. And you can see that I'm purposely selecting the edges of the frame here, because Midjourney tends to add a little bit of a texture to kind of give borders to frames, like to give to your images. So sometimes you need to fray up the outer edges in order to really say, hey, this is actually, I don't want you to consider this a box. I want you to think outside the box, okay, Midjourney? And so what we're going to do is we just select all this negative space here. And because we have multiple poses, multiple expressions, we can start asking for the expressions that we need in order to fulfill this sheet here. So let's go with, let's say multiple expressions. We'll get rid of poses for now. Multiple expressions depicting her upset, angry, and frustrated. Let's start with that and see what we get. And keep in mind, because I'm leaving the personalization code in there, there is a chance that the personalization code is going to influence the results in a way that we don't want. So there might be a chance that we just have to delete that in order to get the results that we want. Oftentimes, I'm more taking away the stuff that I did to set up the initial prompt than I am adding things to it, right? So let's see what these 4 results gave us. She's overjoyed in a lot of them, like just way too overjoyed. But I'm more looking at the bottom left one that I inpainted to get her a little bit frustrated or upset. So I don't really like her frown here. Let's just go with, let's just go with that sort of face here. Just a little frump, just a little bit of frump. Okay. And we're going to continue here. And since it's just way too overjoyed, she's way too happy. We got to get her depressed. We need multiple expressions depicting her upset, angry, frustrated. Okay, let's get rid of the personalization code. Okay. And if we wanted to, we can even get rid of Niji, because we have so much anime influence already inside of this frame. There's a good chance that we don't even need Niji to finish this up. So I'm going to run both. I'm going to do one where we have it and then one where we don't. And we'll compare the differences here. And then when I get this done, I'll try to bring it over to Discord. But the new editor does have limits on how we can use /show. So I'm probably going to be doing a lot of copying and pasting into VC text for you guys, just to kind of go through the new editor here. All right, we'll let this render. All right, let's take a look at these 8 results here. I do like that we already got like kind of an up chin one where we can inpaint the chin a little bit to make it a bit less Jay Leno, a bit less Jay Leno in her face. But we're basically looking for the ones that fulfill the upset, angry, and frustrated. Okay. Ooh, this one's better. I like this kind of sad one here. Yeah, there we go. We're getting now it's a lot of hands to the face, and you'll notice that there's a pattern here that as soon as one pose has hands in the face, all of them have hands in the face. It's very common for it just to kind of repeat these. This one is good though, because she is clearly like depressed in some of these. And that's what I'm aiming for here, is to get the range of performance out of the character. So let's pick the one that has the most. You guys are also going to notice that I don't reroll a lot, because I'm trying to like stay, I guess, productive when it comes to your all's time here. So most likely your own experiences are going to reroll more often than what I'm doing here. But for the sake of demonstration, I think I like this one, but her hair is not consistent. We're going to have to in-paint her hair different in that one. Okay, let's go with this one. We got some good range on a lot of these poses here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that over for you guys. Let me quickly expand this out. Upload to gallery. Okay. So I'll get that up for you guys to start messing with, but I want to show you guys the power of being able to use this stuff right off the bat. So we have all these poses here. So let's just expand the canvas down and say multiple poses. Or we can say, what is it? She is getting a cup of coffee. Keep in mind, we're not using character reference. We're not using style reference. We're not doing really any of that. What we're doing is we're trying to learn how Midjourney understands the images that are already in our canvas, and then redirecting those results based on that. So it is quite common for us to not only reference this sheet for ourselves, but also to expand off of it and be able to say, hey, I need you to do this specific action, this specific pose, this specific expression. And we can do that just by expanding out next to our character sheet and basically just have Midjourney do the work for us. So you could see here that we're definitely not getting the coffee at all. But this is all multiple poses. And then here is her. She's getting a cup of coffee. Okay. So what I meant by hands in the face is certainly true here. You can see just how often the hands in the face are repeating. And her outfit is not too consistent yet. We definitely get some variety out of this, as well as her hair. So this can happen just because how far we expand out, but also just because I very much am going a little too fast for this. I think I need to back down a little bit here. But multiple poses anyway has given us a bunch of fun angles for us to work with for her here. So if we just like this, right, like her pants or just the pose that she's holding here, then we can start to in-paint the things that are not consistent. So let's go for this one here. And her pants are a little wonky on this one. So let's go ahead and fix that. Just to get us some other expressions or expressive posing. That as long as it fulfills your character, then you're making good headway on this, because you'll be able to then use these to like selectively take each expression as you need for your project. So while that's rendering here, I'll see what's going on with VC text. We might have a few new people here. If so, hello, how you doing? My name is Victor, and I do comics. I make comics online, and I am, or at least I was, a creative consultant after working in visual effects and entertainment. So if you do have a project or anything you were working on, feel free to talk about it inside of VC Text, and you'll find VC Text here right above the stage. And then you'll also find VC Create, which is where we're going to be prompting today all together. So you're going to see a whole bunch of unique characters that people have been developing. I can see the Princess Mononoke influence from a mile away with this one here. Super fun. I like that. And you could just see the diversity of approaches that people have to creating the initial character sheet, that reference that you need for both yourself and for Midjourney to develop your own original character. And there's some really good ones here. Like this is an amazing result. The pocket needs some work, but otherwise this is great. Expanding off of any of these will let you be able to really get all the poses. You can see here, Bertco's already going ham on that with theirs. And And let's see. This is also why I avoided using character reference so quickly. Notice how the expressions, all 4 of these expressions on Lolo Soon's output here are basically the same. Like it's all arms down, overjoyed, head up, unbuttoned blouse, that kind of thing. There are certain things that you're going to want to repeat, and there are certain things that are what I'm calling sterile, or they repeat too often. And you can just look at the character references, that first result that we got of the 3 overjoyed faces. Notice how they're basically stuck on all the results here. We can lower the character weight and hope for enough diversity, but then we're going to lose the stripes on her shirt. We're going to lose the certain aspects of her clothes and stuff. So we really do need that diversity, that character sheet, to make sure that we don't get this sort of sterility. So, hey, Little Angry, good to see you. So what we're going to do is let's take a look at the different pants that we have here for her here. Oh, that's right. I was focusing on her top here. Yeah, we didn't really get any of the stripes on this expansion, so I think I basically expanded too far. There's not enough of the results that feature her striped shirt. So let's double back a little bit. Let's go to, let's see here, this edit. I'll come back. I'm going to bring this down to about here. And then I'm going to clean up the shirt that are wrong. So this one here, let's clean up this. In fact, we were getting so much hands to the face, right? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of those. So the one overjoyed one here, I'm going to keep. But I'm going to go ahead and start to get rid of the hands in these 2 results here. Let's see. This is a really good one, but it's going to drive so much the content to be hands in the face. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay. And I will use now the restore function to bring back her expression that's in the middle. I like that expression. Okay. And boom, boom. That should be pretty good. We do want to erase a little more for her sleeve here, so that has enough to play with to kind of extend her arms down, assuming that's what it's going to do. And yeah, let's go ahead and work with this. Multiple poses. And again, if we need a very specific expression, we can always, go back to our account, go to this version, and then ask for those expressions later on. So like if you do have enough to get started and you get your character, having a good day, and then, I don't know, trips and falls and has and gets a injury on their knee or something like that, you only need a couple of expressions: surprise, joy, and then pain to accomplish that, right? So if you have enough, get started. But for me anyway, I really do like to try to hone in as much as the sheet as possible, because that also gives me guidance for the results that I'm going to get. So you can see on all these results, we're getting basically hands to the face on this top left, but on the right here, we're not. So let's go ahead and pick the good one here. I like the hands together on this one. I also like how it did make it a bit floofy here, like for her top. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, again, more hands to the face here. Let's get rid of this. We'll get rid of this bottom here. There's a lot of her overjoyed, right? We might basically want to force a different expression onto this one. You want to kind of pick an option that makes sense for also, like, if it's like particularly the hair's up and out, you probably want to do shock or surprise or anything like that. The hair is just as expressive as the faces when it comes to cartoons, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just select anything that I'm seeing that's repeating across this. So there is 2 overjoyed ones together here. So let's go ahead and just kind of boop that one out here. Okay. So let's do now multiple expressions. Okay. And then I'm going to hit submit on this one. My goal here anyway is to try to get her outfit from multiple angles, multiple poses to be understood when we run it as a character reference. If we run just this whole sheet as one image, it may work. We might get lucky, and it may not. We may have to separate this into multiple images. We'll see. But it's all kind of a trial and error process from here. But I do like one of these results that we had here. Let's see. They're all kind of overjoyed for that middle one here. I'll have to keep working with that. but I do generally like this one. I think this is good here. I am going to fix your sleeves though here because it's going to really make it like parachute pants for sleeves if we leave that as is here. And I'm pretty happy with this. There's only 2 now that are hands to the face. Okay. So let's just go ahead and go with this. And we can even say, hey, we want a specific like pose for her on this bottom left one here. There's a lot of different tricks from image weighting to prompting for things that kind of give us like, sort of a similar direction of what we're looking for here. But we can also just like direct it, say multiple expressions multiple poses, or just invoke specifically her doing a pose. So like, let's say like, she's throwing dice or something like that. Just something to give us an open hand and out. So we'll say she's throwing dice. She's throwing dice in the alley. Alrighty. So we'll see what pose we get off of this. And we notice that her pants are actually off. Oh, we hit the AI moderator on that one. Okay. So let's just say she's throwing. Let's see if that's enough. But I also want to fix up her pants here. So let's go ahead and clean that up. Boom. Like that. Because once we have a completed sheet, we're gonna be able to go miles with this character. So let's see how that renders here. I'm going to take a sip of my smoothie while hopefully the AI filter doesn't kick us.
Hello. My name is Kinky Kong, and I'm here to say, come to play prompt battles in a major way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I usually come in here while Victor's drinking his smoothie for a little Victor's smoothie talk about a little game that we play on the weekends called Prompt Battles. For about 10 minutes, we do some prompting on the same topic, but we come back with very, very different images. And then we put them into a poll unit, and that poll unit helps us vote for them. We're going to vote on these images, and then we choose a winner, and whoever wins gets to pick the next round. When do we do this? You might ask. We do this on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm inviting you, yes, you, to join us for prompt battles on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. We're there for about 16 hours, but you don't have to be. No. You can come and go as you please. I'm the one that has to be there for 16 hours. And when I say have to, I mean get to be there for 16 hours with all of you fine folks. I would love it if you came and joined us. It is free to you. And not only is it free to you, we pay you in Midjourney bucks. That's right. You get fast hours for playing and making friends and learning how to prompt and having a good time. You really can't beat it. It's the best deal in town. I hope that you show up and join us. I would be your host, Kinky Kong, along with my co-host, Gallifrey Gal. She's not here right now. Otherwise, she'd be saying hi. I know she would. For prompt battles on Saturday and Sundays here on the Midjourney server. Let me give you a link to that event. And I will get off the mic so that Victor can come be victorious once again.
Well, quite a performance there, Kinky. Thank you.
You know what it was? When he jumped off the mic, I was in the middle of a bite of a Rice Krispie treat.
Okay. That just got you some sugar.
A little surprise. Yeah. I needed it too. All right. I will let you go.
All right. Sweet. Awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, definitely join that, guys. It's a real fun event, and it gets you fast hours. So it's a good way to learn as well as get some stuff done. So, okay. So let's take a look at this result here. I ran some in paints, trying to basically get her sleeves to be a little bit cleaner. But I noticed that we're kind of cutting off a lot at the elbows, which I think is making Midjourney at least produce like more long sleeve rather than, elbow cuffs. So I'm going to go ahead and also in-paint the bottoms of these to try and encourage that we want a little more of these arms to be visible here. So I think that should be enough. Let's go with this. And then I think we're ready. Oh, nope. AI, we got, probably because of this. probably because of this. She does kind of have an open blouse here. So it seems like the AI moderator is has a little bit of liberty over us here. So let's go ahead and hit submit one more time and see if we can bypass that really quick by inpainting a little more area. Nope. Okay. All right. So that's going to be what we work with. That's just what we got. That's all good. So let's go ahead and upload this to my gallery, and then I'll bring that to you guys. I blame Snoopy for getting her AI moderated. Yeah. Blame Snoopy. Not me, please. Only Snoopy. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. I know I am. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we are able to escape reality here. I will say that as good as a Friday as I'm feeling right now. I know that this is not exactly the most exciting time in the world. So we're gonna keep it lighthearted and focus on the animes here. But I just wanted to say real quick to you guys, thank you so much for spending your Friday with me. This is a super fun way to do it. And I really love seeing just all the different characters and different approaches that you guys do here. It's a really great way to just get my head in a new place, seeing what you guys do. So you can see Momo girl getting her coffee. Let's see. Ooh, I like where you're going with this, Hillgarden. I want to see that character fleshed out. This kind of reminds me of the cat person, the cat god from DBZ. Okay. All right. Let's. Ooh, you guys are already doing crossovers, bringing characters together. That's what I want to see. Okay, cool. Oh. Ooh, whatever you're doing here, Fractal Bob, I'm digging it. I'm really digging that look. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom past here real quick. There's a lot of stuff that you guys have done. Oh my god. Oh wow. Yeah. No, we've traversed far already today. But let's go ahead and grab that result that I have here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to copy this. And I'm going to bring it into Photoshop because I want to make sure that I'm able to select each one of these poses as needed. We'll do some testing with just the full sheet itself, but I have a really strong suspicion that we're going to have to cut this image up a little bit here. You can use MS Paint. You can use really whatever image manipulation tool you want for this, but it's going to be easiest, at least for me, to use Photoshop. So that's what and also that's just what I have 20 years of experience with Photoshop. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up the tablet here. Boom. Okay. And I need to grab myself really quick because I realized that the last time I was doing this, that I had disappeared from my, so I got to copy tablet, and then paste me back in here because, there you go. All right. And I got to shut myself down because people are like, you cover up the layers. We can't see what the hell you're doing. Okay. All right. Okay. So at this point, giant gnarly. Yeah. I just take up the whole screen. But what I'm going to do here is even the background colors are going to influence the character reference. Okay. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the color picker here. I'm going to hit contiguous. I'm going to turn that contiguous or contiguous. That's the word, contiguous. I'm going to click that off because what that's going to do is it basically lets me select that color, and it doesn't worry about isolating and stretch. So you can see here we have all this area in her arms selected, but you notice that there's like this healthy rim around it, and we really don't want that. We want that nice and clean, right along the border here. So let's go ahead and increase our tolerance. Let's go for something like, 60. And then re-click that space here. See how much closer we get. And you see, because we have contiguous off, right? It's also bleeding into her outfit. That's what happens when your tolerances are too high. So let's go ahead and deselect that. And let's try bringing it up to like 45. See if we can bypass it that way. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, the best way to do this is actually with masks rather than to just hit the delete key, because I know that's probably tempting to you guys right now, is just to hit delete. But if you do that, this is what's going to happen. Her eyes will disappear because that's in our selection right now. There are some little teeny frayed bits that are still getting caught that would be included if we just deleted it. And you notice that inside the arm, we even have some selections that we need to fix as well. So what's way easier to do for this is we could either keep contiguous on and then redo every selection that's here, which is not too bad on this one. Or we can do it as a mask like this, boom. And you could start to see where all your errors are here, okay? And then clean them up manually and then invert this. But let's just quickly, because we only have the underarms here, I'm going to turn off contiguous here, or turn it on, sorry. And I'm just going to manually select these couple here. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the expression lines, like these sort of like expression, sort of like almost like exclamation marks. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of alternatives to Photoshop out there, like GIMP and Magma and all that kind of stuff. I highly recommend just exploring and seeing what works for you. But now that we have this selected, I'm going to just start by first making this a mask. Let me invert this selection. Right click, select inverse, and then I am going to just mask that. And that will let me be able to now more hone in exactly what I want to clean up with the brush tool here. So a nice big brush, and make sure it's on black, and then everything that I don't want to include in this character reference, I'm just going to quickly draw in with black. So let's do that really quick. I promise I will not be in Photoshop too long. I'm just doing this in a way that lets us be able to get a consistent character. And the thing is that you'll notice here that there are examples where the line, she has a line that basically makes it a bust, right? Where there's a line underneath her that would not be there if it was just like a segment of her body. So I actually try to get rid of those because they tend to create artifacts that I don't want. So I just kind of come in and select like that. Just get rid of any of these kind of like underline sort of areas so that we just get a clean color without a stroke there. Let's see here. And I got to get rid of this green that's here. Okay, looking pretty good. Let's get rid of this and this. And we have a little bit of that underline stuff happening here as well, so I'm going to get rid of that. If she had like a belly blouse or something, like where or whatever, like a more of a belly shirt, then that line would make sense. But she don't. So let's get rid of this little triangle here. Boom. Oops. Boom. And I think that's pretty good. I think that gives us a lot to work with here. Okay. Okay. And we do have a line here that I want to remove. And I know that you guys are already recommending programs, alternatives to Photoshop inside of the VC text. Feel free to use them. Let me know how you think of them. I want to hear more about the alternatives, like Pixel Cut and the stuff that you guys are chatting about. It sounds pretty cool. So let's go ahead, and we got to get rid of these lines here too. Now, you don't have to do that. I'm just doing it because I know that it gives me a little bit better results. Okay. That should be pretty good. All right. And her sleeves are still a little bit too long on this one. So I'm going to see if Photoshop will actually do this for me. Because as long as you're on the topmost layer, it will refer to whatever's in your canvas as long as you don't write a prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and just generate this with no prompt. And that, at least for Photoshop, gives me some pretty consistent results for whatever else is in the canvas, usually anyway. Look at that. Did exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay, awesome. So now I'll do it on the other sleeve here. And I'm just loosely following the stroke line for this. So again, not writing any prompt inside of Photoshop. Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and get rid of her back arm here and replace it. I don't even think I have to replace it. I think I can just leave it as is here. And we'll see if the AI image filter kind of blocks us on this character. I'm curious just because she does have a pretty low cut blouse here, or low cut top. Okay, let's go with that. And at this point, we can make any manual corrections that we wanted to. You know what I mean? Like if we wanted to actually draw certain aspects of this character, we can do that. But we don't really need to for the sake of our demo. So we're just going to go ahead and now I am going to merge all this into a smart object. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can keep all these isolated still. So I can right click this and be able to do a group selection like this, where all that negative space is for the most part, kept out of the selection. It is inside of here because of these, this in-painted area. So I can just manually turn that off like that. And all thing I'm going to do at this point, copy and then bring it back over to Discord. And we'll test out what a full character sheet does and then go from there. Prompt. Let's see here. Okay. So let's now bring this into VC Create. I'm going to paste this. And let's try the character out here for a moment, just with character referencing. Okay. Now that I have this uploaded to Discord, I can take that link from Discord. Oop, that's not it. There it is. I can take that link and we can start to direct the character a little bit. So let's say that she's a used car salesman. I'm sure that it will respect the gender. We'll see what it does. My phone went beep. Okay. Not important. And phone is muted. Okay. Okay, so here we are as a used car salesman, and look how much more it respected the sleeves and the outfit she's wearing. It's way better than we had before, at least I think. And because we have all these faces that are being taken from this character reference that has all these different poses, right? It tends to put that also inside of your prompt. So if you do need a lot of references inside of your result in order to in-paint, like for example, if we want her selling this car on the bottom right corner, right? Now we can adjust the expression that we want for her face here, and then just simply in-paint out all the other expressions, right? Because it's fine. We know what we want. It's the car, her standing next to it, so on and so forth. So I can now select all these other expressions and simply delete her character reference. And that should get us the result that we want there. Even with the this should be good. Ooh, expression happy, smiling. Yeah. You're definitely going to let's see, who is this? This is Blue Phoenix. I like your character. It is definitely very aggro right now. So to get that range, if you do get stuck, like you just have trouble getting that happier expression and stuff, you could zoom out and try to basically get farther away from your character, which will make it less derivative. Or you can include an image prompt into there. So let's just say we take vary region here. And keep in mind, any sort of like border or framing may actually screw up the potential results. So we want to get rid of these little, lines that go vertical here that kind of give us like a page edge or anything like that. I want to get rid of those because I want to make sure that we have the most potential for this image here. And if we want her to be happy, let's see here, happily smiling, okay, we can come in and get rid of one that feels very much, let's just get rid of this one for now, okay? But because you're not actually getting rid of this, guys. You can just upscale this, save this one part of it, and then put it back in your sheet. Not a big deal to just get rid of things because you're not actually getting rid of them. You could just upscale that previous version. But if we are not getting this expression here of happy and smiling, we can actually grab happy smiling anime girl. Just Google that, right? And let's just grab this random lady. Why not? We'll grab this random lady. Don't do that. Don't do that. But let's just grab this image here, and then I'm gonna paste it in the front, which will make it an image prompt. As long as there's just the link, not without a parameter, so without character reference or style reference, it'll just be an image prompt, which means that with the value IW or parameter IW, you can adjust the influence of that image. I don't want it to look a ton like that. I just want it to guide the results. So let's go for 0.5 on the image weight for this reference here, and then I'll hit submit. And we'll see how much influence the image actually has on the result. So, let's see. And you notice all the happy ones are generally kind of the same sort of like exploding with energy, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see what we get for. Okay. All right. So it just gave her some hands. Didn't get us anywhere where we were looking at there. So let's actually try to, at least for this one, I definitely want to get a better image than her waving. That's definitely influencing it quite heavily. So let's get one without a hand in it. Let's do this one here. Copy image address. Oops. Vary region. And then replace that link that we had before with this one. And essentially by running low image weights, you can really force a certain expression or a certain look or a certain pose. That's definitely a way to do it. But you kind of have to finagle it. You have to figure out what works best for you on that. Love that used car smell. Yeah, right. Okay, let's get back to what I was doing here before. Oh, there you go. They have a bunch of happy expressions on this one that you can just pull and use. Let's see. Where was the sheet that I was working on here? Sorry, just a moment. Got to find where I was. Might have had some late renders. Let's see. We've been jetting too much. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. Oh, here we go. So you could see that as long as I removed all the different faces and stuff, by just deleting character reference, we get everything that we wanted out of that image. Just think of it iteratively. Try to, like, if you have a ton of options that come from a result like this, I mean, at face value, you go, what that doesn't have any function for me, but then you just remove what you don't need with a second in paint, and it'll just take you super far. So, okay. So with this prompt though, we definitely get a lot of the same expression of her just kind of like happy, leaning back and all that kind of stuff. So at this point, what we can do is we can actually save out all these poses as different images and use that as the character reference to see if we get some variety just off of that, as opposed to referring to the entire sheet and then merging it into one character. So what I'm going to do is inside of Photoshop here, there's a little bit of bouncing back and forth that we're going to have to do to get this done. But essentially what we do is we're going to group select this result here. Make sure I deselect the white that's here. Okay. And now I'm going to make sure I do not select all but one pose. So I'm, let's see here. Get rid of this. Okay. And now I'm just going to go pose by pose inside of Discord and post those as image links. So let's pop ourselves back to the stage here. And you can see what I'm going to do is basically one by one, come into here and start grabbing every one of these poses this will take me just a moment, guys. So might be a little quiet as I am getting all these copied over to. And you can also organize this inside of your Photoshop or your photo manipulation program, whatever you're going to use, so that every pose is its own layer. This will be handy for you later when you want to make variations of these poses. But for now, I'm just going to try to find every unique expression on my sheet and then grab those. So if there's like particularly an overjoyed, like multiple overjoyed or happy faces, I'm going to avoid those. So that way we are forcing a certain variance or variation on all these results here. So you can see, I selected 2 by mistake on that one. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then less selection. There we go. And paste this one. Okay. And same with this one up here. Like so. You can post 10 images at a time in a Discord message. So we're just going to try to cover our bases here with 10, I think. We shouldn't need much more than that. Let's go for, did I get this pose yet? Because I do like this one that I'm working on here. Yeah, I need to get that one. And also the primary pose, the one in the middle. You can use a ton of image links to create the character. Let's see how much area I got negative space. I don't want all that negative space inside of this image here. So let's see where that's coming from. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay, good. And I think I got 1 or 2 more poses here to do. Okay, there's the main pose. And, even for like the main pose here, right, where it's like we have a little bit of negative space underneath her legs there, I'm actually going to get rid of this one. And in my Photoshop here, I'll show you guys why I think this is important. You'll notice that it's not an even bottom to this image here. It's got the roundness for the legs here. I'm actually going to deselect everything below. So basically we get a nice clean line without a stroke or an outline at the bottom, so that I can then just copy that over to Discord and paste that. And that way I don't have any more negative space on the bottom of this image here. That'll come in handy to give us less floating heads. Okay. So let's see, how many pictures do I have here right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 2 more that I can use. I will definitely be using them. Let's go ahead, get this and this and this and this. Okay. And that. All right. Let's see. Second to last pose. It's this one. And then we'll do 1 more hands in the face, which we may get rid of later, just because if that becomes a pattern that we see, we can easily just get rid of some of those images to incentivize that we don't want the pattern of putting our hands in our face. Okay. Alrighty. So now we have a bunch of images inside of a single Discord message. I'm just going to send on that inside of VC Create. And now I'm going to open up each one of these as image links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, one of them didn't open. I think it was this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I think this one didn't open. Okay, there we go. That should be good. How can I keep the face while doing different poses? So you basically want to get all your poses in, and then what is it? Just highlight all the faces and try to bring those back to the original character the best you can. A lot of times what will happen is you can use a character reference just to bring back specific details, right? So whichever one has the face, use that as a character reference for your in-paint and see how far you can get with that. We'll get over that in just a minute here. So now that I have all these links, I'm going to write /imagine, and we'll use the used car salesman prompt again, just to get us something to write here. CRF. And then I'm going to grab each link, paste, and then hit spacebar in between them so that we get a nice big chain of links. And we want to make sure that every one of these images is unique. That is pretty important. And I mean unique, like really do mean unique, guys. Like it's important that each expression is different, that each image has a sort of intent behind it, because we're definitely going to need to draw on specific images to fulfill the character later on. So let's see. Hopefully I didn't repeat any images there. We'll see. And then G6, and I'll hit enter. And we'll see what we get here. Midjourney will yell at us if we repeat images, so we should be okay. Alrighty. Okay, cool. Notice that we don't have any more floating heads. It's all referenced based on this based on the images here, and the expressions that are all here are just kind of a slit face, a little bit just tired. She looks tired in all these. Let's do now a negative prompt to try to get rid of the tiredness. So we'll say -- no and then tired, and we'll see if that helps us get a little more diversity out of that. Okay, so with the negative prompting is like a pretty it's a pretty harsh thing. Like it oftentimes it will bring you to a space that may introduce a lot of reality, a lot of mixed media and whatnot. So at least in my experience, whenever I negative prompt, I tend to realize that I tend to get myself in a bigger can of worms than I had anticipated. This is an example of where now I'm suddenly introducing real life elements into this that we may or may not want those. But for now, I think this will work. So I do like that we're getting the low cut blouse in all of them. It's looking good. Let's do, yeah, look at this, what Blue Phoenix is doing. With the new editor, you can just upload this image and then in-paint all around this negative space to be able to create the rest of the character turnaround. But let's get her. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So if we just take the single image of her, this one here, okay, we'll start off with just this one image and see if what other expressions we need to kind of give some diversity in these results. So I'm going to go ahead and hit paste of just that one link and get rid of the negative prompt. This will be kind of a different direction, but it's another way that we can kind of test out this character really quick. Yeah, she's definitely in a very relaxed pose by default anyway. So we'll see what happens here. You notice that with the leg cut off and all that stuff, we are definitely, it doesn't look like her as much, right? She's overconfident. She doesn't have those emotional expressions that we had when we ran them all together like we had here. It's all of the four the same expression right now, but that's okay because we can come into here. Let's just say that we like this first one here. Let's go with the third one. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a different expression on her sheet. There's a lot of her with the closed eyes, guys. That's what I'm realizing now is that we can probably get some good. Yeah, look how wow, she has closed eyes in almost all of them. Okay, we need to open up her eyes a little bit in order to get this more diverse. So let's fix this the right way. Let's fix this by in painting some new solutions onto her eyes here, because we have the primary pose. Okay, she definitely has her eyes open for that. Okay, so we're going to copy this link. And we will go ahead and grab our character sheet, which we had up here. And I'm going to use the new editor for this because it's going to go a little bit faster if we do that. So let me grab the main character sheet. It was back up here somewhere. You guys are prompted so much. Should be right after this. Okay, there it is. I'm going to take this link, copy it, and then I'm going to go to the Midjourney website, and I'm going to hit edit, and then edit from URL. And now I'm going to paste that URL in here. Okay. Now we can edit any image that we want, with the in-painting tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just select her eyes in all of these. And unless she's smiling like this, I don't want to see closed eyes anymore. It's kind of goofy. It looks like she's got googly eyes. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's just get rid of all these. I want to get as much of this one makes sense. Let's go ahead and leave that. Okay. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to say multiple poses or multiple expressions, and then hyphen cref, and then I'm going to grab the master pose, this one here, and I'm going to paste that as the character reference. Boom. As long as you write hyphen cref and then paste the link, it'll automatically select it as a character reference inside the website. So we're just going to now hit submit. And there's a lot of really loose in painting I did here, guys. Like I just went boop, 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 boop for all the eyes. So we could probably get a lot more done just by being a lot more generous with the in painting. But I want to see what this does. Let's see if we can get her to at least open her eyes up a bit. All right, a couple of them, she definitely opens up. So let's take a look. We're basically going through all these and seeing a lot of them are just kind of, halfway open, which makes sense because if you notice her eyes are not fully open here. So we want to start directing these results to get some diversity here. So let's go with, let's first find the overjoyed one because we want to make that like nice and wide opened, right? So let's go for this one and say that she is, multiple expressions, wide-eyed, overjoyed, and then submit this. She's kind of winking on that top right one, which I like, but we'll go ahead and just keep seeing, or like keep adding on in paints until she has a full range of expressions. The reason why we're doing this, guys, is because in that result that we got with running all the different results, like all the different links, notice how her eyes are closed in every one of the results. And that's because if we blended all these images together, her eyes are closed. She looks like she's taking a nap at the on the job, right? So ideally what we're doing here is we're trying to wake her up a little bit to get her to have a lot more range in that expression. So because I only in painted these eyes, it looked at the neighboring eyes and went, okay, let's just be really generous with the in paints here. I'm just gonna get rid of as many of these as I can. I'm even gonna get rid of this entire pose here just to get rid of that sort of face. And I'll come in, take this one as well. I'll leave the wink and I'll leave this one. And let's go for this and then hit submit. I feel a lot more better about that in paint than I did about the other one. All right, yeah. Her eyes are definitely okay. Yeah, that one's better. Okay. Yes, I like this one a lot more. She's just generally a lot more awake in these results. Probably still a little bit tired looking, but nothing too crazy. And at this point, now that I've seen that pattern, I want to get one where she's just like exaggerated, like open eyed. Just to get us something that's a little more extreme than this. So let's try to get it on this face here. And then I'll just do wide-eyed, overjoyed, shocked. Let's see. Ecstatic. Did not spell that right. Ecstatic. And let's not, I won't even run Niji on it. Let's just see what we get off of the base. And then also, sure, I'll also run Niji. Why not? We'll run both. We'll see if we're able to get her to be, have a more extreme expression. Yeah, if you're using this new editor, guys, you will not be able to hit /show to bring the job ID up. What is it? If you are not using the new web editor, you can just use /show by getting the job ID. Hit the copy function inside of Midjourney. Okay, let's see what we get for these eyes here. A little more open there, but not really getting to the extreme that I want. So we might need to write like chibi or some other sort of exaggeration here. But for now, I think this is actually going to do way better than we had before. But we'll wait for this render to come through. I'm enjoying my cold brew espresso smoothie. It's much needed for the amount of talking that we do here. Okay, so I'm not really seeing too much diversity and trying to get her to be like, super wide-eyed in here. So I'm gonna grab another expression here. Let's go ahead and use an existing image to force an expression with a similar looking character. So we're gonna copy this. Let's go back over to Discord here. And I'm gonna say exactly what I want her to be. So like wide-eyed, shocked, and overwhelmed, maybe. And then cref that one image, the master pose, and then Niji 6. Ideally, what I'm trying to generate here is actually my materials for in-painting that new face. And then I'll use that as a character reference or an image weight or image prompt. I mean, we'll see what makes more sense to kind of get the face the way we want. Lola Soon's Black Sprite guy. I forgot his name, but yeah, I love that character.
Lola Soon came and played prompt battles with us. It was fun.
Oh, yeah?
I think he won too. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. They do some real fun comics, guys. I'm excited to keep working with them later. Okay, sweet. All right. At this point, let's go for this second one here. She's a bit more wider-eyed than we had before. Okay. This was pulled by just using the master pose in order to get us a different face, right? We're not using any style references yet or anything like that. We're just going in and trying to get her a new face here to use. So we're going to copy that. And inside of Photoshop here, I'm just going to make a new canvas really quick. Paste this, and then I'm only going to grab her face here. Okay. Copy. I'll then paste that into Discord to get me a link. I will copy that link. And now inside of the Midjourney app where I want to fix this face. I want to get that face to look like the face that we just generated. So I will get rid of the character reference that we've attached to this here. And I'll paste this and list this as a character reference. And then I will basically just in-paint her whole face here. We're trying to have no influence from from this result here. In fact, I'm going to also just in paint her eyes here because I really do want to try to force some different expressions on here. So let's just go ahead and hit submit. It didn't really look like it mattered if we did need you or not, so we'll see. All right, we got 50 people here. Awesome, guys. It's good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining. I say that and it jumps down to 49. All good. All good. Thank you guys so much for spending your Friday with me today. If you guys have any projects or anything that you're working on, feel free to come over to VC text right above the stage here and start chatting with me. It'll show up inside of our chats here so we can all hang out and collaborate together. Let's get back to it here real quick. All right, let's see what our faces look like here. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, look at how much we were able to force a difference out of these results. There we go. That's what I want. I just wanted something different, and we got it with this one here. Much wider eyed. Very good. I definitely want to try one more time, just one more time, guys, on this, and we'll see if we're able to to get one more wider eyed expression out of this, and then we'll submit. And thanks so much for helping guide people going past. I've seen you reply to a couple of people. I really appreciate that. All right. Let's see what we get on this one. I kind of like it where she's pinched over to the side here, like she's in pain there. Let's go for this one here. All right, let's go ahead and now we will upload this to gallery. We can also just hit download image, but I want to upscale it. I want to get this upscaled from Midjourney here. So we're going to let that upscale, and then we'll bring it back into Photoshop, and you'll see some magic that we're going to do here. I like this one where she's in pain. Yeah. You guys, taking my words out of context inside of Midjourney prompting is half the fun for me. Because you guys,
God, if you like seeing women in pain, wait till you remember the rest of this week.
Right, exactly. Oh God. Yeah, I'm just saying, y'all. It's too much fun for me to see you guys go back, because I don't even recognize half the stuff I say. I call myself a professional rambler, but I don't know what I'm saying.
I love it. I love when you do that, like, because then I get to break it and act like I'm funny.
No, you're funny, plenty funny.
You are. We have a good time together, you know? No, you. All right, back away I go.
All right, let me show you guys this here. Because we already did all that work inside of our Photoshop here, right? We did all this like isolating of all these different, poses and stuff here. Because the image we're working on is the exact same dimensions as the other, we can actually preserve our masking here. It's another reason why masks are neat. So I have the image here. I'm just going to download it. And then I'm going to drag and drop it on top of this result here. And as is, the image may not line up perfectly because whenever you're doing upscaling with AI, it tends to change the resolution. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of hover over this, and we are simply going to scale this back to match. So it may take a little bit of finagling to get right, and this is definitely an extremely manual way to do this. But if we play our cards right, we might be able to get away with this. So let's see here. We definitely don't get a lot of grace here because there is ever so subtle differences inside of the poses here that we want to make sure that we respect as best we can. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. And now that we have these two overlapping each other, I should just be able to bring this up, and it is we have a little bit of movement here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a blending mode called difference. And this will let us be able to kind of isolate the differences between the art. You can see where it goes black there. we basically want to get this image to be as black as we can get it, because that will mean that everything is overlapping in a pretty reliable way. That's pretty decent. Let's go ahead, and you can see the one that we deleted is just kind of like a glowing ghost lady now. But we'll go ahead and hit normal on this, and then we'll turn them on and off to compare. See how much better that was? There's so much less clicking. Now I can take my selection that's here and bring it up to this other one and then mask. And now just get rid of the one underneath it and that. And there you go. We've now preserved our masks and applied them to a different iteration of this lady. So that's awesome. What this means, though, is that I need to come in and I need to get rid of the last little bits of white that are here. Let's do that here. Select the mask in paintbrush that with black, and that will remove it. Okay, sweet. And now the only kind of manual sort of finagly part that we have to do is we have to get this to be easy for us to copy and paste back into Discord. Last time I just kind of group selected things and just kept group selecting. It's going to be a lot easier if I just basically, isolate these all to their own layers. Okay. So let's take this one here, and I am going to remove everything but her here. Okay. And then I will duplicate this and delete this layer mask and then apply another one, seeing as I'm only selecting the bottom left here. And then I repeat that for each one of these poses here. Okay. And we can even do this by using the magic wand tool and just negative or alt select the negative space around it. Duplicate that again. Again, we're going to delete the layer mask so that we can apply another one, and so on and so forth until we get all the characters done here. Or sorry, all the poses done here. It's worth it, guys. It's worth it to take time to get this to where each of the poses are isolated like this, because it means in the future you just got to select that layer, and you'll be able to reference that exact pose as needed. You don't have to, do all the selection and stuff that I'm doing here now every time you want to refer to one of these poses. But let me just get this done, and it'll just be a moment here. I wish I had some music to play for you guys while I do the more like tedious stuff. But I am curious about something. Ancient, if you are here, you told me about Desert Bus. I was looking at the Games Done Quick was going on, and that's happening in June. So are you playing that somewhere else, or is that someone else playing it? What's the deal?
Oh, no. Desert Bus is its own thing where they spend a week playing the game Desert Bus.
Who is playing? That's what I'm wondering.
It's primarily Loading Ready Run and a group of people around them.
Okay.
They have guests and entertainment and such, and it is made to be the most boring game ever. Basically an anti-game that Penn and Teller made but never got released back in the 90s.
Yep.
Where you drive a bus from Tucson to Las Vegas.
I love it.
Ghostbuster, that's not the entire game. There are bus stops and bug splats, and sometimes it's night. But that is the majority of the game. But yeah, for the next week or so, I will be at least partially distracted by Desert Bus. So if you would like to be distracted with me, I will drop a link for that, since it is for charity.
Perfect. Thank you for updating me. I was curious.
Oh, actually, I can also post something related to it for people that are unaware. Here is a this or that I sent in to them to do last year, which is drag queen or font. It's more challenging than you'd think.
Good. That is too funny. Oh, I'm just about halfway done with these ones here. Let's delete the layer mask on that. And done there. Almost there. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it, and you guys will have access to this Photoshop file, actually. So I've been trying to make more of a habit of creating the PSD files as well for you guys. So when this is all said and done, if you want a very dynamic Photoshop version for you to reference on to build your own or whatever, you'll be able to find that on my server. There is a link that gets posted pretty frequently inside of VC Text to my server if you wanted to join. And let's see here. And basically, what's neat about
I got it.
Well, thank you so much. What's neat about that about the server is that it's a place to share your characters, for us to collaborate with them, but also for you to watch your characters develop, like with the other members. Like they'll do exactly what I do, which is take your character, they'll yank your character, and start telling stories for you. Just because they're inspired by your character, just because they're inspired by the story that you wrote or whatever, setup you've given. I promise you that if you make a compelling character, it's like the one movie with the cornfields and stuff. If you build it, they will come. That's largely what my server was like. The mentality behind the server was just like, give them a place to start building a universe, and they'll come and do that. And it's definitely come true. It's been really exciting to see you guys like entering either the fantasy nexus or the Western nexus, like it's a freaking isekai, and taking over, doing what you want to do. It's wonderful. I just love seeing all the different characters interacting with each other, especially. So, all right. I'll show you guys a full demo of the Gnarly Studios server in just a moment, but I do have everything isolated now to where every pose is a layer, as you can see here, which means it's very easy for me to now bring this into Discord. So I will open up Discord here. Actually, first let me save. We need to give her a name, though. Who's the used car salesman? What's the used car salesman's name? Please tell me inside of VC Text. I do need to give her a name, so I'm just going to call her used car for now. Okay.
We'll call her Mo, like Mo's used cars.
Yeah, exactly. Mo. And I just calling her a used car is also kind of, it's derogatory, but it's funny to me. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up this inside of inside of our Discord here. And now that I've each one as their own layer, it's incredibly easy for me to be like, okay, yes, take this layer, copy, and then paste. Perfect. Take this layer, copy, and paste. So on and so forth. I'm just going to do this all the way down until I have all of these as I accidentally selected the mask there. Let's go ahead and grab that. Correct one.
Snippy says Eustace Carr, and Gumpasta said Mosey.
Mosey. I like it. I like how like it's largely because like I don't know what to do whenever I'm with you guys, honestly. So like I kind of go with whatever's the first thing on my head, and use car salesman for some reason, even though
Also got
Yeah.
Wheelie Deals Wanda and Nova coming from chat.
Ooh. Nice. This is an example too, where, you know, like I can see all that negative space showing up underneath her here. My instinct is to get rid of that, but for now I'm going to just keep it so that we can move on. Quickly copy and pasting all these. Almost done. And again, guys, the goal out of this is really simple. It was just to get her to not be so sleepy and to have her eyes closed all the time. And her eyes are no longer closed in any of these results except one, where her hands are in her face. So let's go ahead and submit this. And just like before, I'm going to grab all these links individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to paste them into a character reference. So, and after we're happy with it, we'll save it to our Midjourney account, right? Oh, I like this one where she is in pain. Thank you for second serving for that one. I gotta send that to a friend of mine, actually. Okay. All right, now I'm going to write --cref and then paste all these links with a space in between them. It's a little easier to get rid of your link as soon as you open it. It's a little risky in case you forget one, but it lets me not accidentally post duplicates. So Vrav room. I'm loving all these names, guys. I'm just imagining her what her used car commercial is. You know, like, my name is Veronica Vroom, and I'm here to sell you your best damn car you've ever owned, or it'll be like new to you. You know, that kind of stuff. All right, let's do a used car commercial, and then I'm going to set the aspect ratio to AR 16:9 to go for like US television. I didn't set that to Niji, so I'll also run that with Niji just to see how well this works. Ideally, we use Niji because she is a Niji character. You better bet on Better Deals Betty. You'd see just off of version 6.1, like, her eyes are open. That's great. But her outfit's not going to be respected the same way because, again, we are jumping from Niji to version 6.1. So instead, with version 6.1, to me, this is way better right off the bat. Her outfit's pretty spot on for a lot of it, and it looks great. So, and her eyes are open in all the results, which is what we wanted. Okay, let's pick a name for her really quick. Based on what you guys, okay, I'm going to go through all the options here really quick. And also check out what you guys have been doing inside of VC Create, because there's so many characters now. There's so many things going on, and I can't wait to check them all out. Okay, we got Zella Lemon, Betty, Betta Deals Betty, 4-wheel, 4-quart bargains, Veronica Vroom, Billy Buckets, Mileage Monica, Auto Annie, all right, Nova, Wheelie Deals Wanda. I like Wheelie Deals Wanda. Eustace Carr, Mosey. Let's see here, Mosey. Okay, that's the names we got. Okay, cool. So, I like that. Wheelie Deals Wanda has the most, but also Beta Deals Betty are kind of, or that's my top two right now. I like Wheelie Deals Wanda. That just makes me laugh. Let's do that. Let's just name her Wheelie. What is it? Wheelie Deals Wanda. Because I'm going to make a quick commercial for her. I think that's what we should do. And see what sort of results we get out of that. Okay, let me save this. Save as Wanda. Wheelie Wanda. Character sheet. Okay. So at this point, since I'm happy with this now, I want to get this saved inside of my Midjourney account. So that's really, really easy for me to just pull up Wanda whenever I need her. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I only select the links because maybe we want to use her as a style reference. Maybe we want to just use her as an image weight. We'll have to, we might want to not just have her be exclusively a character reference. So I just copy all the links all at once there. Just a nice select all for that. And then I write /prefer options set. It's this first one that shows up when you start writing prefer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to give our character the name Wanda, just because it's short and easy. I would write really Deals Wanda and write the whole thing, but we're just going to do Wanda. And then I hit the plus more, which lets us add a value. Okay. And inside of this value, we paste all of our links. Okay. All the links, everything that we've proven that's worked so far. You can include a complete prompt inside of this if you wanted to, but for now, it's just Wanda's links. So I'll hit enter. And the reason why we do this is because it lets us very easily refer to Wanda on any other Midjourney server or any other server that has a Midjourney bot on it very easily. So if you want to hop world to world, for example, you have it within a single command now, a single parameter. So let's go ahead and have Wanda show up in a commercial. So let's do /imagine, and then we'll do shot on VHS commercial, and then we'll with sign that reads Wheelie Deals Wanda got the best. This is Wheelie Deals Wanda with graphic. Let's say instead of a sign with graphic with a bad car salesman graphic that reads Wheelie Deals Wanda. Okay. And now, because we have her saved inside of our Midjourney account, it's really easy for us to pull her up. So we can write --cref and then --Wanda. That's all we got to do now because I have her saved as Wanda. And because we want to kind of maybe up the mixed media realism a little bit for this joke, I'm going to leave it with version 6.1. There's another option, which is we can also run it in style raw. So if I do style raw and then Niji 6, that will make it like a little less like fluttery, a little less like textured. Or it may make it like just more usable for the purposes of editing it later. So there we go. We got Wheelie Deals Wanda. Yes, this works. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab this third image here. You could see with Niji, because Niji is not based on realism, like there's not a lot of realism involved. It sometimes will not give us a result that looks like what we asked for, particularly VHS, right? But then 6.1, it's a lot more like era specific. There is an element of trying to make it vintage. That's a lot easier to do in version 6.1. So let's go ahead and also upres the second one here, because I'm laughing a lot at just like her going, "Where are you going to get better deals than with me?" You know, like, that's what I'm getting from this pose here. So we can mess with that more. Throwing a flag in the air to start the race. Ooh, nice. And let's see here. That's great. So we got, and you notice that it's starting to incorporate a lot of realism inside of like her hand and her waist, and also it's all version 6.1. It does an amazing job for mixed media. So if we wanted to kind of expand this out and say, hey, make this like a television thing. Like first off, if we're doing something that's going to be VHS or classic era of television and stuff, you're not going to see things in 16:9 or any wide angle. You're going to see them in 4:3 because that's the aspect ratio of all television. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit custom zoom. We're going to set the zoom to 1 so that it doesn't actually zoom out at all. And we will change the aspect ratio to 4:3. And this is just going to give us that little extra on the left and right side of the screen in order to kind of feel like a vintage VHS recording. And so the good thing about mixed media prompts, right? Because like, look, it's super fun. It's super fun to do full anime stuff like this, right? Of course, I love it. I make comics with it all the time. But if you want particularly AI video to be understood well and to like develop something interesting, mixed media is a better way to go because there's a lot more data on real life human beings and how they move than there is on off-model cartooning, especially. So just by selecting one of these results here, I'm going to go with the second one here. I'm going to give her a logo and then we're going to make a commercial for her. Okay. I'll probably throw it in Pika just to see what it does. I do have 1 million credits on Pika. I should use those. Still have barely touched into the credits they gave me. But let's go ahead and get this second one. And the thing is I want to throw a logo in there and I want to fix that weird finger she's got. Okay. So let's go ahead and do those little corrections. Because again, anything that you can get to fix it now is going to just make a better product later. So let's fix her finger, her weird, broken, demented finger. And let's get a logo in here. Okay. So like if I come into here and select this entire back corner here, it'll probably just delete it. It probably won't do much. But if I come in and select only like the close, like empty white space here, let's force a logo into there. So let's say that we have to first get rid of the character reference. We'll say that this is a 1950s style logo depicting a redhead. Let's just say depicting a redhead. Let's just see what it does with submitting that. And if we need to, we'll select more area and kind of go from there. But I'm kind of imagining that this is Wheelie Deals Wanda. Whatever. Ooh, this is fun. Are you guys dropping the character weight lower? Yeah, dropping it to 50. I could see that. Tin plate 1950 style logo also works well. Ooh, that's good. That's a good idea. All right, so it started blurring something kind of in the background there. I think the blow up might be a little too strong for this. So let's just select the whole area there. I'll say screw it. I'll just see what it does it probably will just delete it, but I'm going to go with what you wrote here, the tin plate 1950 style logo. That's a good idea. So, because I did this.
You know what I noticed earlier today when I was having trouble getting words onto an image was that like taking off or adding a parameter, like even if you just move the stylize up by 1, sometimes that helps. Or like take off the chaos, or I don't know what it is, but it feels like it resets something that allows it to add more, you know? Felt like that for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Might just be my confirmation bias. I don't know.
I've noticed a lot of placebo with my stuff too, where it's just like I think it works, and then
what did I say to say that I'm wrong?
I'm just saying. Like what ends up working for me doesn't always end up working for everyone else. That's for sure.
Yeah, I totally get it.
So if you notice though, the result that we got, it did exactly what I thought it would do, which is delete it, right? Which, you know, it's not, I don't need this logo. It's fine if we use it as a character reference of her and then force the logo into there. But I think for the sake of what we want to do, right? Of trying to get I just really want to fix her broken ass finger. So let's just go ahead and up-res this one. Okay. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. It gets us somewhere. She's got like the back of a hood of a car, that kind of thing here. Hand looks pretty decent. The car is kind of that's in front of her. She's kind of in the hood for it. You know what I mean? She's like inside of the hood for it. So to make AI video look real good, we're going to probably repair just this car a little bit here, just a little bit. See if we can get it to not be facing, because it looks like she's about to get run over by this car, which might be funny to see, but for the sake of just trying to get something more usable, I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm also going to get rid of whatever signage is back here because I don't want that to distract or make random shapes in the video. So we'll see what we get with this, and then we'll hop over to Pika to throw in some video content. Ooh. I like this. I like this, guys. I love the advertisements. This is so cool. 1960 used car commercial, vintage style, vintage poster designed for a retro futuristic promotional for Wheelie Deals Wanda sales. Yes. Love it. Okay. Any of them where it looks like the car is not about to drive into her. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to say let's do the first one. Because we got a little bit of a rear view mirror there. What did you say? What did you say about my finger? All right. Okay. We got this here. We got her. Let's upscale this. And then I'm going to open up in a different tab here, my Pika. Make sure I don't got anything inappropriate going. No, it's just Victor drumming. We're good. Okay. So let me grab this. We're just going to give it a second to upload. I'm going to take a sip of my smoothie here, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Well, hello again. The ever predatory for time on the mic, Kinky Kong, has returned to you. And this time, I don't have a mouthful of marshmallow and puffed rice. What's everybody doing this week? You guys doing anything good? Doing things to keep in the headspace that you want to be in, I hope. Taking care of yourselves and each other, I hope. Someone did get a new mic. Do you like it? I feel like I got a new haircut. I'm like, did you notice anything new about me? Thank you. Victor didn't notice anything new about me.
I did notice. I did notice. I didn't comment. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just playing with you. I hope that you guys are going to come to prom paddles this weekend. Alistair, have you played prom paddles? I know that you've been to a couple of other events. Not yet. I hope you do. I am currently trying to get my computer back together because I did a little refresh earlier and it took out all of my passwords and I have no idea what they are. So every single tab, you guys have seen my streams where I have like 48 tabs open. Every single one of them wants my password again. And now I'm sad.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'll manage. At least I have like a megabyte worth of space left on my computer again.
Yeah, you know,
all my old videos that I already uploaded and stuff.
Not running around like crazy trying to delete stuff so you can just download a video file or something.
The bare minimum, yeah. A 3-second video that I made on like Pika or Halo. Got 3 vaccines today, so I might be just locked this weekend. We'll rally for prom paddles. Yay, Roughly, I hope you do, and I'm sorry about your pain that you're going to be feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I had 4 vaccines done at the same time, and I had to call in sick the next day because I was so awful feeling. I literally said my thermometer reading to Kinky and was like, I can't do this. It was like, it's awful.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. I tried to bully myself through it, but I couldn't. Just couldn't. So I hope.
Oh my God, you're doing so good with Momo noodles.
Yeah, I love Momo.
We've been like we got Demetria making her own avatar character, and we've been doing a lot in the prompt battle room from on the server. Wait, not on the server, on the web, and like it's become a nice little group of people hanging in there. We were making some characters and using some methods of yours, and it's all gravy, man. Because
Yeah, awesome.
room, this is the first time I've ever Snoopy went in there and never left. Snoopy, she is the ghost that haunts the prompt battle room.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah, I we talked about this before, how the rooms are gonna like we really I really do want to see them become like places you can visit. You know what I mean? The more we can bring in that second life sort of fantasy of the people and places that we interact with online or physical things, I think that's good. It may feel antiquated now, but I still want that. I still want to be able to have a space I can claim my own and be like, welcome to my house. And you know, check out all my cool stuff in my house.
And you can come to my house too. It'll be neighbors, and like it'll see people on the other room, and we'll know that that's where we should go at the time, and it'll be cool. It'll feel like having houses next door to each other, you know?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Like how I call VC Create and VC Text. I'm like, yeah, you just gotta go upstairs to VC Create. You know, gotta go downstairs to VC Text. Or like I kind of picture Midjourney like a building, like a warehouse, you know, and like you gotta go to the other businesses and in the industrial pack, and those are the other servers. You know,
yeah. I mean, I've heard you describe the Midjourney server as like a building with multiple levels, and you're like running in between all the levels, like trying to run up the stairs. Yeah, Midjourney crossing. Yeah.
I like to say I have to go upstairs when like things are slow on the server. I'm like, I'm gonna run upstairs and check that out while people are playing prompt battles, and they're like, is she in the Midjourney building? Rhapsody. All right, I'm gonna back off the mic again, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Yeah, it's good to see Rhapsody. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I know you're not feeling good actually right now. I apologize. It is definitely, it sucks. It sucks being sick. So everyone, you know, give your love to Rhapsody. She's definitely feeling a bit rough. But I'm so unconcentrated, right? Yeah, I bet. I can't. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. What I wanted to show you guys here is we're rendering a couple things in Pika right now, trying to get this vintage car salesman. So anyone that has experience with Pika, with Rhapsody actually came in at the great time. Anyone that has experience with Pika, and we're trying to make a used car salesman ad commercial. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just gotta laugh at that. I love that face though, for real. We're trying to make a used car salesman commercial. So we have the image here. I'm gonna paste the image. Oops. This one here. That's what we're working with. And I want to see really if we can get her to move believably, or to otherwise be, you know, hawking cars for us inside of Pika here. Oh, she could do that. I'm curious to see what you do. No pressure, obviously. If you're not feeling good, don't put any real effort into this. At least in my experience with Pika, it really does help to to really drive ahead the exact kind of imagery that you want, whether it's stop motion animation or anything like that. You want to be as descriptive as you can in that regard. But I don't really know the real tricks for this stuff. I haven't really paid too much of attention, but at least ever since the Pika 1.5, I haven't paid a ton. So let's see here. Gome Pasta said to Blue Phoenix, one of the things your C refs are causing is that you have only headshots, not body. If you want to have a posable character, you need to have a body visible. C refs will generate one, will try to generate what it sees. Correct. Unless you lower the character weight, even then, if it's like a close up or a cowboy shot, waist up, almost all your results are going to mimic that sort of imagery. So you want to make sure you get at least a full body in there. Pika is different in prompting. You need to have anchor movement description types prompts plus an all over description or no prompt at all. Ooh, let's do a no prompt. Let's see what we get with no prompt. I love working off of prompts that are just straight image interrogation like that. It's amazing how much it's able to figure out just off of that. All right, so we got 4 videos rendering right now. 3 of them are at 99%. 1.5 definitely takes a while longer, so I apologize for the wait, guys. But we'll see what we get off of this, and then retry a bunch of them just to see where it goes. All right, let's see. Here's our first one here. Wow. That's actually pretty cool. Her mouth's all sort of screwed up, but that is hilarious. Okay, sweet. First one done. Yes. We get that. We definitely get that uncanny valley. 100%. That is so easy to produce with AI video. It's just big teeth, multiple rows of teeth, like that kind of thing. Let's see what we get off of the third one here. I'm actually going to, while this is rendering, I'm going to retry these too. All right, this is the third one. Oh, she teleported to the right. Rows of teeth. Say,
Get a card from Willie Deals Wanda and you can zoom like me.
Exactly. You can zoom away like me. Okay, this is amazing, actually. So I'm already going to just copy this. Oh no, that's copying the prompt. Hold on. Let me just download it. And I'll bring that into here for you guys. We need a blooper reel. Yeah. I put it in VC text for you guys so you can have it. Zoom. Okay. Let's see what we get off of these other ones here. She is fast. Wanda is the Wonder Woman of car salesmen. Yeah. Gotta go fast. Exactly. After this next generation, I'm just going to hit retry on a bunch of these, and then we'll move on to kind of probably flesh out her sheet a little more, or put her in another unique scene or something like that, just to kind of get the ball moving here. But it is something that I'm curious to see what you guys are able to do with this stuff. I am able to generate this scene from multiple angles using the new editor too, which is super, super fun and exciting. I did this with the Sage comics already. So while this is rendering, I'm going to demo something for you guys here. So if I jump over to my server, okay, so I will hit show servers and then go to Gnarly Studios. You can find a link for it inside of VC text. But inside of my server, you're going to find a whole bunch of channels, particularly the character portal, and you'll find all sorts of characters to pick from that are curated by the fine people here in the audience. Thank you so much for that link, Kinky. And you'll be able to basically select a character and start generating them. But every time you update one of these posts with the results that you make, it pings the creators so they can add it to their own kind of world or story for that character. So it's really good to like follow descriptions and stuff. But if somebody writes nothing, like Second Serves Noodles literally just gave me a cute little anime girl and then said, like, you know, the meaning behind her name and stuff like that. That was enough. That was enough for me to go, okay, look at all these fun little animations that they did, little images, that kind of stuff that they made. Momo is featured in the next the Sage and Michael comic, so I had to. It is just too much fun to have her as a character for us to pull from. So yeah, she'll be there. Any of your all's characters has a potential to end up as one of my comic characters, and you will be credited. So if your name is the name of the post, especially that's how I know your name to credit you. So make sure you post to the character portal, guys. But inside of here, you'll also find some of my official in production images, such as like the stuff that I use to produce comics. We have a lot of OTSs or over the shoulders. This is what I need to create the realistic sort of like over the shoulder shot of two characters talking to each other. You'll see OTSs in multiple of the characters that I share. So if you like go to Michael, for example, here's his OTS. Okay. The OTSs are really hard to generate without specifically aiming for them. I generate these by specifically asking for okay, that's not a good example. That's the wrong attire there. This one's better. So I say animated film depicting two people. As long as it says animated film depicting two people, there's a good chance you're going to get an OTS out of your character reference. And that's just because so many shots, so many screenshots of animated films feature two characters talking to each other. As long as you fit that criteria, you're going to basically ask for a composition like this, where there's an over-the-shoulder shot with a medium or cowboy shot of the character who's talking. Okay? So this is a really great tip to be able to create these sort of shots. And what we end up doing is creating this sort of an additional character reference for us to use. So I use that pretty often. See, like I used it here to create Michael, and over the shoulder of Michael talking to Sage and Momo in the next comic. And all thing I did is I take the top of his hair and in-paint it with Michael's character reference after, using the OTS of him, and we get his hair back. That's simple. That's how I create the shots, guys. It's super, super straightforward once you have all the materials from your character sheets. So what I'm going to do is the last thing I want to show you guys is actually inside of the Sage Comics here, which is creating additional scenes with the new editor. And then we'll check out a bunch of your all's videos because I see you guys are uploading them already. So if I go to the Sage Comics here, and then I scroll down to this is what I call a clean plate, or it's a background plate, where I've done all the removal of the characters and I've just preserved the background that I want to use. Okay, if you look at it, it's very clean. I got it. It's just a second here. There you are. Boop. Okay. You can see that the background is basically all the core elements that I need to make a Sage comic. It's the cubicle walls, it's their desks, it's the chair that they sit in. This is like the recipe for a clean background for them that lets me make stuff like this. Sage just sitting at her computer doing her thing. But what it also lets us do is to use the new editor to expand to basically a canvas the size of the one that we have. So we have we basically double in one direction. So I went vertical with this one. And then I asked for multiple panels depicting a corporate office space. And look at this. I have all sorts of options now for alternative backgrounds for the other panels in my comic. I use this very heavily in the next comic in order to make here's Michael's desk, here's Sage's desk, so on and so forth. I can just generate additional backgrounds doing that. So let's do that with the video here. But I want to first take a look from what you guys have already rendered here. So let's see here. We have one from Snoopy up here. Wow. Okay. Hold on. I gotta download these so that you guys can see them. There we go. That's pretty great. She's a very fast talker. I'll download all these. That's pretty awesome. Oh, she's actually talking to the camera on this one. Nice. Awesome. And this one? Oh wow, the mouth is a bit wacky in this one. And then lastly, this one. What did you say here? This needs a few more tries. Yeah, I bet it does. Wow. Oh wow. You actually got like almost like a Pontiac looking car beside her. That is amazing. That's cool. Yeah, it definitely a couple more tries to get her pants to not turn from a skirt to pants. Like in one frame. Whoop, up, that now it's pants. But this is awesome. That is so cool. So if we wanted to say build the rest of the shots for this, you can in-paint video with certain of the AI video things, by the way. You can in-paint them. Pika can do that. So if you want to input, you have to use the 1.0 version, but you can do the in-painting of the video. Let's go ahead and I wanted to show you guys the Midjourney thing. So if I come into Midjourney here. Okay. Now I have this result that we have. This one here. I'm going to hit edit, and then I'm going to say open in full editor, and I'm going to drag this down to where it creates. Let's do. You know what? Let's double it wide. Let's see what happens when we double wide here. And I just go until I'm a little bit past the midpoint here, and you can tell because of the handles here. If we get a little past the middle of the handle here, I know there's enough room for a panel border or an edge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say multiple stills from a VHS car commercial. The idea here is that I can encourage this to learn or just to repeat the imagery that's already inside of this result and try to get it to give us multiple angles of this one commercial. Just based off of the existing imagery that's in here. And you could see that depending on how and what we ask for, we may get a separate panel. We may get a continuation. Like you see, it's a continuation in the garage here. We may get some more live action stuff. So let's do this. Let's try to generate, instead of, I'll say, multiple still panels, or let's just do multiple panels. Multiple panels from a VHS car commercial. And then we could even include her character reference again in there. But I'm going to see if, let's see, I'll just hit enter on this for now and see what we get. Let's see. We got small car is special from Rhapsody here. Oops. There you go. Oh, it's a tiny little car. Look how tiny the car is. Oh, it's a car for ants. Okay. All right. So I'm not getting the multiple panels here. So let's go ahead and bring in Niji. Niji 6. And let's see if we can kind of fudge this a little bit. I need to create a panel border in order to really enforce the result that we want. As long as you're able to get something of like the foundations of a second panel, that's all you really need is like a border or something to separate these. It would be great in the future for the editor to have basic shape block painting. So you can say, all right, I just want a white square here, just to like arbitrarily overlap stuff and break the sort of depth information there. That would be really handy for moments like this. But you could see even with DG6, it still wants to promote realism because that's what's already in the frame. So let's actually crop in a different direction here because I feel like we're just kind of extending the garage. So why don't we do it vertical instead? We'll try to go against the grain when it comes to how the shot might naturally unfold. So like if you go vertical here, there's a good chance that we'll end up, because video shots are never this tall from VHS era. I think it's going to be good. I think this will work better. So let's do multiple stills from a car commercial. I'll get rid of the word VHS for now. And I'm going to go back and grab Wanda's character reference as well, and we'll try one with that. Is this the right one? Let's see. No. Okay. So we remember we definitely have two different versions of Wanda here, one with her eyes open and one without. So let's grab this one. Okay. Got to head out a bit early today. Have a great rest for the afternoon. Thank you. Thank you so much, Really Smart. I really appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with us today. That's awesome. All right. So I'm going to grab Wanda here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Going vertical was the way to go when it comes to this. Look at that. We didn't even use a character reference here. And yes, it's realism, but at least it's Wanda again, right? So what we can do is let's try this with a character reference now. Okay. And I'm going to submit this for now. But I know that because it's Niji and stuff like that, there's a good chance that we're gonna get some funkiness here. So I'm curious how much work we got to do on this to make it believable here that it's the same environment or scene or whatever. But let's see. We might need to drop the character weight, and that may be enough to work. Oh wow. Okay. All right. And as expected, whenever you run character reference, it'll dominate the result in a way that like really emphasizes the character here. So let's go ahead. Now that we have these two panels, we can expand outward like this and hit submit again. But this time, let's try it with the realism one too. I kind of like the sort of 50s, but let's go for this one here. And I'll expand this one out too. The new editor is just amazing for kind of building scenes like this. You know what I mean? Like just expanding out custom wise and just make it something new fit there. But at this point, we probably want to get rid of the character referencing because look how derivative that is. It's literally the same image on the top left, just slightly different, right? So now that we have this wide sort of pull out here, I'm going to get rid of all of her character reference. Okay, because we only used it to create that additional panel here. And I'm going to just hit submit on this. And then let's look at the other one here. Yes. Okay, that's awesome. Granted, yes, it is very much her as a real person, right? But you'll see what I'm going to do next to kind of take that to a new level here. And see, once we get rid of the character reference, she's allowed to move and adjust again in interesting ways. So let's actually grab this image here, okay? And now I'm going to use the new editor in a really fun way, okay? We have her character references all here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and use retexture, the new retexture function here. And I'm going to change, we'll first submit it as is. So multiple stills from a car commercial and hit submit with this as her character reference. All right. But we probably want to hit a style reference on this too. So let's try one where every one of them is actually a style reference instead of a character reference. Because we already have a lot of reference for the character based on the depth information that's in this image. So we have all these now set to a style reference, and we're going to submit that retexture too. And you'll see why I do this. It may come out completely poopy and weird, but we'll see what happens. And while that's rendering, we have a new video from Little Angry here. Whoop, Victor's car commercial. That's awesome. We even got, she's got a third finger here, but yeah, it's really cool. That's really cool. I love the slow-mo. It's like she just did like a slow bang with a hand. That's great. Okay. All right. So with setting the style reference to the character, right? We actually got more consistency between the characters, but it's not anime, right? That's understandable. But now if we set it as the style reference, oh man, it's all very much realism. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything but realism here. I can't wait for retexture to include Niji, because that's going to be awesome. I hope that becomes a thing. But if we now say that this is also like, let's try to paste this again, sref, and paste. That's not going to work. Okay. 2 dashes before your option name is the yeah. You want to do that for any of the / prefers. So, okay. It was neat. We definitely didn't get the anime result I was looking for with this, but we could also do this as a variation to kind of see what we can make do with this. So, if we liked any of these, we could just run off of that and go from there. But instead, what I'm going to do is let's go back to the editor here. I'm going to grab. It's a little too dramatic on a lot of these. Yeah. Let's just go to the original image here. And then we can actually bring the anime back in with just doing in painting. So let's try that a little bit here. I'm going to try to take out some of this realism manual way here. And then we will, because we can use Niji inside of the editor, we just can't use it in retexture. All right, so this is another one from Snoopy.
That's amazing. It looks like Miss Nameless went by there.
Yep, exactly. You just it's only a card and it's nameless. This is why you don't cut deals with her. No, this is hilarious. That's awesome. My lungs. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I'm laughing really good at this one. Great job, Snoopy. Always making me laugh. Damn it. Looks like an insurance job. It was an insurance job. It's amazing. Love that. Good job. That's hilarious. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to scroll through some of these results here. And then and check out what you guys have been up to. I definitely want to see more stuff from you guys as we go on, but I want to share the fact that I have the Photoshop files here saved for this character here, and I'm just going to show you what the process is for submitting an original character here. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I have the image of her just by herself here. So let's delete all these, and let me grab, I believe it's probably like the third image or so. Let's see. No. Yeah, this one here. I just want to make sure that I have this one here. So at this point, I'm going to go to my server here. Boop, boop. Oh, you don't do -- name Lyria. You do -- Lyria. So like this. Like that. Just write that. Assuming, if you use the capitalization, then you probably have to capitalize it. But yeah, you're when you assign the name for your /prefer, what you're doing is you're literally making your own parameter, similar to cref and all that stuff. Yeah, you just don't need the word name. Okay, let's submit Wheelie Deals Wanda to the character portal here. Show you guys what that looks like really quick. So we'll go to the character portal here. We will hit new post, and then we will write Wheelie Deals Wanda. Okay. And then I'm just going to post her entire character reference inside of this post here. So I'll do a quote here, -- cref, and then because -- Wanda will only work for me. I can quickly prompt for it inside of here, but it will only work for me. So I need to make sure I grab those links really quick, and I can just quickly grab that for myself by doing it here. Like I said, it's not server specific anymore. So it's really easy for me to just prompt anything that includes her parameter that we made, and then just copy these links here. I'll go back to the character portal, paste that into here, and now anyone can copy and paste those links as needed. I want to include the actual image of her, like that as the first image, and then I'm going to save her character sheet. So let's go ahead and first save that as a Photoshop file, and then I'm also going to save that as a PNG. I'm going to make sure that it has a white background on it, just so that we don't have to worry about any sort of weird negative space gap or anything like that. Like sometimes there can be, at least I don't know if it's true anymore, but it was definitely a thing where if you had an alpha channel or transparency, it did weirder stuff. It's for the most part, just put a white background on it and you should be fine. So we'll do Deals Wanda as a PNG file here. And I'm going to include now that PNG as the second image here. And then lastly, I'll grab her PSD file and also drag that into here for you guys. If you have a particularly big file, you might need Nitro to post it, but we need to now just add some tags. All right. So she is a character design. She is not a villain or a monster that we know of. We do have a little bit of a location attached to her, but I'm going to go ahead and just say that she is a slice of life character, and then we'll post it. And now anyone that wants to use Wanda for their projects or anything like that, the only thing I ask you to do is to please update us when you do. Like when they're free. You're allowed to just go nuts. You can make money off of these characters. I do not care. Have fun. Just know that, like, if you do make anything with it at all, I want to see it. I want to see what you guys do with it. It'd be really fun if you did. But we're going to let that submit over to the character portal here. And then all these videos that you guys are making, I'm probably going to slap them all into a single video to post under her character portal entry. Let's see. That's probably taken a minute because of the Photoshop file, but we'll let that run. And yeah. And once that's submitted, it'll show up just like any one of these other characters here. Yeah, there you go. It's just so cool to be able to keep up with what you guys are doing this way using the forums here on Discord. Okay. Alrighty. So, I am actually going to probably get the ball started for inviting you guys to the after party. We run an after party on the Gnarly Studios server that will let you be able to hop on stage and ask us questions directly. Just hang out with us, even if you just want to, you just want to hang out. That's totally cool. You're welcome to just come on stage and just chat. It is a heavily moderated server, so just be sure to be polite when you're on there. But if you do want to join, it's really easy. Just click the link that Kinky just posted on VC Text. That will let you join our server and just say hey. We'll be on there in just a couple minutes. Otherwise, thank you so much for everyone here who joined for today's stream. I normally go to about 7, but today I'm feeling a little anxious to get us to the after party here, because I definitely want to talk a couple community things too. And otherwise, I wanted to thank all you guys here for coming in and just being a buzz. Like you guys telling me what to do is actually awesome. I really do love just making stuff based on the demands that you guys have put together here. So thank you all so much. And if you have any sort of questions or anything like that, post them to the server. That's the best place to reach out to me. I do not accept friend requests or DMs at this time. Sorry. I just really appreciate the time you guys have given me on your Friday to hang out with us and prompt with us today. And I hope to see you at the after party. there is, in terms of what we accomplished today, we made Wheelie Deals Wanda real. We started her car salesman career here, and it's just been so much fun to see all the little moments that you guys have built, and I'll post all those here. There is a AI video set, like a thread that is up in the White Lodge at the moment, but you could just go ahead and just post whatever content you want where you think is appropriate, and then we'll tell you if you're doing something wrong. Okay. But otherwise, thank you so much to Kinky and Ancient for co-hosting with me today. And if there is anything else, is there anything else that you guys want to announce before the stream ends?
No, just going down to prompt battles, and I hope to see you there. And thanks for everything, Victor.
No, thank you guys so much, and thank you guys so much for spending your Fridays with me. And I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you guys over at Gnarly Studios. Okay, see you guys.
And bye.
Bye.